Good morning, good morning. We're gonna get Rob on right now. There we go. Good morning, brother. It's the end of the week. Oh, let me see. Let me fix the audio here really quick. Test. Is that Booker? He said that? I thought it was somebody else.
No, it's Booker.
Alrighty.
The man goes paddle boarding and kayaking and camping and fishing and I don't know what else. And he sits there and says he needs a life. Really? All I do is sit at this fucking computer. Pardon my French.
I call that a life. Morning, Jolly. Let's take a look at this article here on AMC. It says, Is AMC Entertainment stock about to smoke shorts yet again?
Okay, whatever.
Mm, so you said you were gonna buy some calls, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at dude, I'm actually thinking about it. I'm actually thinking about going camping and floating the river. But yeah, I'm all for it this weekend. Um, you know, AMC is not making any sense because the fundamentals just aren't there to support this price. So there's something going on. And I sent you a link to some DD that I encountered this morning. And I mean, it's the reason I'm thinking about buying the calls on GME because it seems to be accurate as far as as far as the price prediction, as far as moving up, because it's tying that into uh, futures contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this sneaking suspicion that if it is accurate and the the puts that expired, what was it, last week, week before last, the 200,000, I think it was, since they can't rewrite them, that they're going to try and roll that over into the futures contracts instead of trying to uh, tie all that back into puts to hide their shorts. But the thing is if you look at that, let's see, BlackBerry costs, AMC, at least I think it was BlackBerry, it might have been Bed Bath and Beyond,
No, I think
and
BlackBerry was
GME.
there.
They all go through the same cycles. It's looking like, and the only way that can happen is through ETFs, funds of some kind, indexes, or through futures.
Right.
Well, the way I'm looking at it, the way I'm reading it, all right, ETFs, the ETFs that GME was in, other than the meme stock, the newly created meme stock ETFs, is how GME moved out of the Russell 2000 into the Russell 1000 and going into the MSCI 750 and moved up. What else did they move up to? Anyway, they're no longer tied through those. So they're tied through something else. That leaves the meme stock ETFs, or it leaves futures contracts. It's an expensive way to try and kick the can down the road for the short hedge funds because they have to settle up every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's what they're doing. They're trying to keep from going broke, but they're going broke by doing it because it's expensive to keep doing that. I mean, it's one of the more expensive ways. The put contracts were cheap, comparatively speaking. So I I honestly think that in the next week or two, we're going to start seeing some tremendous uh, bursts on GME, and if it is tied into the futures contracts, like that DD says, like Crean said or alluded to, if that is the case, then you're going to see jumps in all four of those, and maybe a couple of others.
It, Is it really that simple? I really thought derivatives were way more complicated than that. What the DD suggested on that Reddit post.
It is that simple.
Damn. And I mean, I was kind of trying to see if these stocks still move in coherence, but BlackBerry and Cost had been really lacking volume. I'm not really. I don't. I'm not. I think the only ones that really follow each other closely right now and still have the lead in volume is AMC
Dude,
and GameStop.
dude, do a four split screen and roll it out to about 6 months.
Let's see. Oh, I'm just looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute. Let's see. Cost. What was it on BlackBerry?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right.
Uh-huh.
When you just zoom out and start to see spike
Zoom out and
early
see the
June.
big picture.
Yeah, you're right. I was just looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute. Right before the January run up, that's when we had the most volume.
Uh-huh.
The GameStop seems to let's see, let's add some indicators on this.
And if you look, at each run up, which is right about the same time as these future contracts came due or had to be rolled over.
That was March
March, what, 17th, I think, or March 20th, and then June, and the next one, I think, is September 17th.
mm-hmm. August, September. So like in a month from now. And notice how
And
the
it'll be right about the time that it'll be just, that this rollover happens just after GME sends out their next quarterly. So it could be some extra buying pressure there.
notice how literally to the indicator they're following each other. Like look at Cost, GameStop, and BlackBerry and AMC. They're all under the EMA after that June spike. That's nuts.
Mhm.
Hmm. That's something to pay attention out for. So you're looking at what? Some calls for let's see.
250 calls for September 17th is what I'm looking at.
250
It's going to cost me
calls.
about 5 grand, a little over 5 grand.
But you get 7x, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it'll be 7x if it does what it did the last time. Got up to, if it goes over 250 and goes closer to 3, I'm looking at 7x.
Jeez. Yeah, the earnings for GameStop is September 9th.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just reading up with the chat. So you think that's just the way it's gonna pan out for the rest of the year? Just these little cycles?
Well, since they can't do the puts anymore, yeah, I think so. I mean, this quarter will tell. This quarter will be the tell on it. If it does it again, that will be 3 quarters in a row, and
Hmm.
then you've got the January puts that 200 and some odd thousand that are going to be expiring that they can't rewrite again. So you've got roughly 40 million shares worth, if I remember right, 40 million shares worth of puts that kind of went bye-bye and can't be rewritten. And what is that? Oh, wait, that's over half the float, or half the outstanding shares on GameStop that they got to figure out where they're going to shit them from.
Hmm. What was the date for that?
What? My call?
No, the
Oh,
puts.
it's January.
21?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, there's
It's
I'm
gonna be
looking
one of
at
the few.
Stonko Tracker and there's a lot of puts.
Yeah,
278,000.
yeah. Well, I'm sitting, and like I say, the numbers I've been seeing on AMC just don't support this price. So something else is influencing it. And I mean, AMC didn't have all that many calls and puts expire, but the thing is there's still that potential that there is, some hidden SI out there that nobody can find. It might be over in the futures contracts, and that might be what's supporting the price.
So from now on, you would say to keep paying attention to the options chain. Is that
Well,
where you
I don't
would?
know that I'd say I wouldn't pay attention to the options chain. I would be looking at what the price, what the price action is when it starts going into these futures
It's
contracts rollovers. Another thing about futures contracts, it's only about 2 to 3% of those are ever exercised.
hmm
Um, Most of them are rolled over.
There's some interesting questions on that Reddit post that somebody did ask because it just seemed way too simple. Let's see. One of the questions was, let's go on this really quick.
Sometimes the most simple answer is
The
the
answer.
only answer.
So back to what you said on AMC on it holding the price. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, is it not coming down as fast as you think, or?
No, it's not coming down as fast as I thought it would. It's not, and it should have. Everything I've looked at, everything I've been looking at over the last 6 months, says there's no SI there. When you've got volume that's sub 40 for 6 months straight, from basically from February on, they've covered. At least that's the indications of that number, of that metric. Um, and yeah, I know the SI keeps going up and down, through Ortex. I, Ortex, I don't believe them. I don't trust them because they're basically owned by Citadel anyway. But the thing is, the numbers I'm seeing, the numbers I've been seeing, don't support this thing staying elevated like this. And it's been blowing my mind. I mean, I'm happy for all the AMC holders. I'm ecstatic for them. Um, but I don't see how it's staying up there. Uh, it's a perfect thing to be sitting there swing trading, and everybody's going to do it that wants to make money in the short term. Everybody wants to make money in the long term. Well, I don't know about that because I still don't see it being valued more than 15, $20 with all the dilution it's gone through and the money it's burning through. That $2 billion that he's so, that Adam Aaron is so proud of sitting there talking about is through nothing but dilution. And they burned through 500 million dollars just this last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to survive if they can't figure out a way to get more money. And the only way they can do that is through more dilution. And the shareholders ain't gonna give them that. Uh, the shareholders are, I don't know. The AMC apes, they may be cutting off their nose to spite their face because if that $2 billion goes bye bye in the next 6 months to a year, so does AMC.
Well, I think by then, I mean, we're probably going to be already in 2022, and he's probably going to ask for more shares, by the way. But a lot of things can happen now till 2022. And I'm also
Well,
surprised with the dip buying that has been happening at $30. I think we mentioned that yesterday or 2 days ago, that every time AMC comes under 30, it just seems to ramp back up aggressively above 30. And this stock cannot come down under 30 for
it
now.
might be that might be a point where that 30,
Right.
that might be where some futures contracts are being written. I don't know. But like I say, every time I see it dip below 30 and get down to 29, 28, I keep expecting the floor to drop out from under it because that's what all the indicators are for me. There's nothing to hold this thing up, yet something is.
Mm. It's like Bitcoin when it came under 30. It doesn't last there too long and it just ramps back up.
Well, if you want to sit there and look at something, and it blew my mind when I ran across it a couple of days ago. I was sitting there doing looking at Bitcoin and looking at the swings it did just over, since this last dip. And I did the math on it, and there was something like $1 to $2 billion, if I remember right, $1 to $2 billion difference in the amount of Bitcoin traded at the various dollar highs and low. Some people somewhere made a couple $1 billion
Oh
just in a
yeah.
few days.
Jeez.
In a few days. And so, I mean, the swings that cryptos are going through is basically keeping these big guys, these hedge funds afloat, because they're the ones that I have a feeling are doing it.
Because you can also do futures on Bitcoin. So that's essentially the same concept here on these meme stocks, right?
Yeah.
It's basically the gist of it of this Reddit post. And that's possible, by the way. They can create their own little algorithm, their own little
Yes.
basket, and have it track. Hmm. See, but that seems just too simple. I think there's way it's much more complicated than that.
Why?
I mean, don't you know the whole derivative scandal like in the 1990s? Like how they were very poppin', they're very popular in the 1990s. And even the people at Morgan Stanley who were selling the derivatives, they didn't know, they didn't understand the derivatives. The salesmen themselves didn't understand what was going on. They were tracking the yields and the interest rates in like Mexico and Argentina and Brazil, and it was complicated. And the people who were buying them, they were just getting wrecked. Orange County, yeah, here in California, they went bankrupt. They
Yeah,
gambled their whole fund. They lost $1 billion and they were over leveraged.
because they were sold on it by the big banks.
Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch. I remember the guy. His name was I think his name was Robert Law. No, Robert Citron. Robert Citron was the guy who was running it. He got wrecked. Yeah, a
I
lot of
mean,
people went bust. A lot of people went bust. I think one of the big, even Procter and Gamble was gambling on options. They lost $1 billion, I think, too, and that's what kind of brought up the suspicion from the SEC. Imagine that. You're buying Procter and Gamble. You think they're gonna make some money on detergent sales, and at the end of the day, you find out that you're putting your money on a derivative speculator. That's
right?
what kind of cracked it down. That's why I think it's just so much more complicated than this post. I think it kind of touches.
Well, once you start digging into it, it's not. It does. He look. Creand has a way of dumbing it down to the point where it seems so simple, but it's not. The mechanics behind it are very complicated, and especially sitting there trying to find somebody that's going to write the contracts. But considering that Citadel is involved with CME, and it's in Chicago as well, man, there's just way too many connections.
Right, like you said, I think the mechanics of it is just more complicated than this, but I think he does a good job at touching at the how would I say it? Like giving you insights on the basics, on the concept of how this works.
Right. Yeah. And
That's
so, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and throw 5 grand at it, and it's 5 grand I can lose, so it's not a big deal to me. Do I want to lose it? No, but it's 5 grand I'm gonna throw at it, and if it turns out to be right, and it'll be the third quarter in a row that it's turned out to be right, then even the Elliott Wave guy was probably right, just was using the wrong metrics.
I remember that guy back in March. So for those who just joined, you want to explain what you're gonna do with your 5 grand? Because I'm pretty sure a couple people joined and they're like, 5 grand, what?
I'm gonna buy some September 17th, if I remember correctly, calls.
September. Yep, 250 calls.
Yep.
And the last time it was right around the AGM, right? When we were above three.
Exactly. And if it runs up over 250, then I'm going to make 7x. And if it does it before the AGM and before it does it before the quarterly reporting, then I'm cashing out and running away because I expect it to get up to 250 to 300 again. It's what it's done both quarters so far.
Even then, you still have the earnings catalyst, right? Right there with
Yeah,
you too. So,
exactly. And that's
hmm.
and that is that's another thing. And if it is working out that way, every quarter that GME reports is right around the same time as these futures contracts come due or need to be rolled over. And so I'm sitting there thinking, if it works out the way it does, the way it looks like, or has looked like, and if it does it again, then this might just be something that keeps happening, which would be
Hmm.
just phenomenal because I'll roll a good portion of the profits from that back into the next quarter.
That's interesting though. I think out of all the DD, I think this is probably the most interesting. The one that caught my attention, honestly. I don't really follow a lot of the DD. I mean, I read over it and then I just kind of forget, but I've been kind of looking into the derivatives history, like the 1994 situation with all these companies gambling on derivatives and whatnot, but this just came up at the right time. At the right time. So I'll probably keep a tab open on this. This Creon guy, is he like a mod on there or what?
I think he's a mod, or he used to be. He used to do the Daily Stonk newsletter. He
Hmm.
pulled back from that.
I thought that was
Uh,
Renzel.
it
I thought.
was Rinsel, or wait, no, wait, it was Rinsel. I'm sorry, you're right.
Oh, okay.
But Creon does a lot of DD, and a lot of it's really good. He spends a lot of time digging into stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep a tab open on this for sure. What's going on, Phoenix? Good morning. Oh yeah, I heard about Wish. A lot of people got wrecked on Wish.
And I heard they're getting wrecked still. Isn't it like
Jeez.
down to something today?
Oh, on Thursday, this thing went from like $10 and we're at hit 650 pre-market.
I'm kicking myself over not getting into Sava when I called it last week.
Yeah, that one's already a goner. I think it's already done its bounce, right? I would assume.
Oh, yeah, it's already eliminated its bounce. I mean, there might still be some upside to it, but it hit the range where I said it's good for.
Damn it,
Beyond this, it's
Tessa. Wish is garbage. No, I wouldn't touch Wish. Wait, Wish.
yeah, that's one of those Wall Street bets that was
Yeah.
pumped and done.
Moran says he's gonna get into Sundial. I have mixed feelings. I don't think I'll ever
Oh,
touch
the hell
Sundial
you
again.
are, Morant, you liar! You ain't touching that. I wouldn't touch Sundial till it gets down to like 50 cents, and it's going to actually have to go through a
Oh,
reverse split here before long.
this is another one that followed the same cost BlackBerry GameStop AMC pattern. It's like in the same basket.
They got like 2 billion shares.
June 2nd. This one also kind of fits into that basket we were talking about. But no, I think this is poop.
Oh, it's poop on a stick.
Artex data is showing 19.20% for AMC. GameStop, we're probably seeing 10 again. Let's see. 10.4, same percent. I mean, what if this is just what if Artex is just faking all this data to keep their subs
Well,
to keep their subs
okay.
happy?
You remember when Ehor came out? I mean, he actually tweeted out the formula they use, and I had to go back and reverse engineer the formula in to try and figure out what just on GameStop is all I did it on. I wasn't going to mess with AMC with much dilution as they were doing. But with GameStop, I mean, it was what was it? Outstanding shares plus synthetic shares divided by something. I mean, it was. I had to go back and reverse engineer it, and at the time, I came up with something like 94 million synthetics.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, he tweeted out the formula they were using. I was like, how can you sit there and add in the synthetics to come up with SI percentage? I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. How can you count something in as uh, how can you count something fake in to come up with a realistic number on what the SI truly is? It was stupid, but uh, he tweeted it out. I was like, okay, well, maybe
Hmm. I thought that was the same formula Fenrir used. Like I thought that was the exact same thing.
it is.
Oh wow. I found the formula. This was back in April. Let's see. Is it this one? Actually, no. He might have deleted the tweet.
I sent it to you, or you sent it to me. It's in our private Discord.
Yeah, we'd have to go back and
I mean,
scroll.
it's way, yeah. We'd have to go to the Wayback Machine to find it, but it's there.
Got into Salva 19 and it jumped to 122 days. I never knew Kathy Wood was on Salva actually, to be
Um,
honest.
Alamo, I honestly, I don't. $1,300. Yeah, I'd maybe say half of that, but I mean, you're talking a long-term hold on that. And I got into Sava my first time into Sava. I can't remember what my buy was way, way back. I'd have to go back a couple of years, but yeah, it was way down there. I'm kind of wishing I'd held on to it now, but hey, I wanted to try. I wanted to go play something else.
But he's
I
in at
made I made
19.
money. I made money on Sava.
Almost in at $19 though. At that point, I mean, if you take a look, the stock's at 120.
Yeah.
It's like maybe take out your initial investment and just ride the rest. That would probably be some not financial advice, by the way.
Well,
Costs?
see, I never understood, and I never could go back. I never did bother to go back and look because I mean, it was like one day it was one thing, and the next day or day after, I mean, like he's saying it was 120. And I remember thinking about that, going, "What in the hell happened?" And I was going to look into it. I thought maybe it was a reverse split, but I never looked into it that deeply, just because it's a bio, it's a pharma, and I just
Yeah.
I expected it to do a reverse split, so maybe that's why I never bothered to look into it.
Oh,
Maybe they had some really good news. I don't remember what caused it, or even looking at what caused it, but I've seen that it holds its damn price, so it's just like, yeah, okay.
this is painful to see, man. This is obviously Think or Swim, RTD Ameritrade. Somebody put $8.6 million in Wish, and they're down $2.3 million on Wish. I think the yield on earnings.
All right, now hold on, back up. That could be one of the fake money things too. So yeah, no.
Oh, you're right. I mean, this guy's like, I've seen this guy all over Twitter too. Like this, no, but the thing is, this Zach Morris dude, he's been pumping Wish for a long time. Like I've
Okay,
seen it like months
you
ago.
know who Zach Morris is, don't you?
No.
Character on Saved by the Bell.
So this guy's obviously somebody portraying somebody else. Like he's using like a character, right? I guess I would assume if you're saying he's from somebody else. I'm too young. Probably.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
So
look.
I knew that wasn't him,
I, I'm
but
going
I
to
didn't know
say
who that was.
fraud. My opinion, that's a fraudulent account and maybe just a pumper, dude. I wouldn't put any weight behind that.
I've just seen him everywhere. He has 500,000 followers. He says the
Yeah,
master
okay.
fru. I'm not a financial advisor. I post more ideas on my Twitter. My tweets are my opinions only. Do your DD and stop being a little B. That's his bio on Twitter. No, but I think I found interesting when I started following him was because of the Wish. He was like the biggest Wish pumper on Twitter. He kept posting screenshots of his Wish position. He was up a lot actually, I think. And I guess today his trade went sour. Like you said, it might be the paper trading simulation. Cause look, this is another screenshot, and he had 11 million, and he was still down 600K.
Again, I'm going to go with you don't know if it's paper trade or not. I mean, he'd have to post, actual buy orders for me to, even come close to believing that.
But he has a 720S. It's probably not even his car either. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
nobody rents your car. Nobody rents your cars to take
look
pictures.
at that. Oh, absolutely they do. Look at this. August 7th, somebody said open 10 paper trading accounts. He probably has a Weeble paper trading account too. And he just replied with a picture of a 720. Probably. I don't know. I think I got fooled by his followers.
Well, yeah, dude. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not. Until he posts, actual buy orders, completed buy orders. in those kind of numbers, I ain't believing
That's the
shit.
thing. That's the thing. He did post when he went on Wish. He tweeted it out. He's like, I'm going in on Wish. I believe in the company. Phil says Zach Morris is legit. Been killing it
I
forever.
saw that until I see the actual completed buy orders.
Just go on Wall Street Bets is literally full of lost porn on Wish this morning. Really? What's going on? Strike Six. It's been a minute. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of feel for the people who YOLO'd in on Wish. Um, while we were talking, AMC has pretty much not done anything, to be honest. Still kind of flat on the day. This reminds me of yesterday's open. Not much going on until like power hour into the close.
All right, cash villain, you have $10K or you have 10K shares.
Oh, the first thing I see, Clover YOLO. I see a Wish YOLO. Here's your first Wish, L. Oh, this guy lost 35 G's on this one. Another Wish YOLO. This guy had 10,000 shares. He got wished. That's what he says. Here's another one on our platform, Think or Swim. This guy bought calls, I guess. No, he had 11,000 shares and then August 21st. I mean, I'm sorry, August 13, 15 calls on Wish. But like you said, Rob, this might be another paper trading account, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, oh, damn.
Wait, why
Seriously,
why
Cat?
is why is this guy's Robinhood pink? Am I confused or what? Like, why is it the different color? Or am I just
I
like
don't
losing
know.
my I'm like colorblind or something? It looks like purple. Oh, he got wrecked on Wish too.
Cash, if you can, average down. If you can. If not, hold. Do I think it's going to go back to 40 anytime soon? God, I hope so for your case.
For what?
Cash Villain has $10,000 worth of AMC at his average of 40. He's got $40,000 invested in AMC.
But he's in at $40.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too bad. I mean, you're like $8
Oh, wait,
away
no,
from
he's got
breaking
no
even.
10K. No, he's got 2,500 shares. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Oh, he says the average is 40. I think
Yeah.
there's a chance for it to bounce to 40. I mean, this stock
I'm
has
glad
proven that.
you have more faith in it than I do. But
Yeah,
then you're just breaking even. Is it? How long do you hold it?
Kyoto brought up a good point. He says I wouldn't average down unless AMC goes under 30. There's a see that's the part. That's the thing. AMC is gonna make a big move sooner, like in the like I would say by the end of the month. This stock has been just testing 30 for the last couple times. It's bounced off immediately above 30, but it can't really break past 40. So I think there might be one more 40 test. But this stock's either going to crash bad to like 20, 25 in the next coming weeks, or it's just going to fly back up to 50. I don't think it's going to trade sideways for any
Yeah.
longer.
Okay.
You don't think it'll go up to
Why?
40, 50?
50? Really? Oh my God.
We talked about the
Based on
derivatives.
what?
The
Based
derivative
on what metric?
I just think it'll push. My gut's telling me like it'll push. If you compare this, if this trades sideways for any longer, this is basically what happened back in March, April. This traded sideways for so long. And one thing I've noticed, especially with Tesla, back like in 2019 before I had that crazy rally to 900, was that the longer a stock trades sideways, the stronger the rip. And Kathy Wood said that herself on CNBC, and everybody thought she was crazy. And she was talking about Tesla before it went at 900, and it was proven true. And I think the same thing happened here on AMC before we had that crazy 77 push. The longer this holds support,
Uh,
I think the
Oh,
stronger the
okay,
rip.
but Tesla is a technology stock.
That's the thing. You're talking about two different companies, two different
You're
industries.
trying to compare apples and oranges and how
That's the
they're going to
thing.
react.
That's the thing. Also, this stock trading at 32 is not the same as it trading at 10. You know, different valuations.
Yeah.
So
And
keep that in mind.
while the AMC apes may have the same strength that the Tesla uh, diehards do, it's still going to end up being, what is the company? What is the company's plan?
Mm-hmm.
AMC doesn't provide, manufacture, produce anything. It is a service,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, their margins are way tighter than Tesla.
Well, absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I mean, you're not even comparing apples and oranges. You're comparing apples to sea slugs.
What is that?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I'd rather not know then. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I lost my train of thought. I had a good point. You
Or you
confused
thought
me
you
with
did.
your. Um. Oh, the fundamental case. So you brought up that it wasn't, or the fundamentals don't back this stock up, right? Where I'm confused on the apes is people say this is not a fundamental play, but they're the ones getting excited over the Bitcoin situation and them buying new theaters. And I thought it wasn't a big. I thought it wasn't a fundamental play. Why are people getting excited over fundamentals when they're the ones saying this isn't a fundamental play?
I, because they're hoping. I don't know. They're hoping that AMC comes up with its own crypto coin. I don't know.
Hey, I wouldn't be
Uh,
surprised.
I'm one of those people that I'm like, really? You're expecting me to buy my tickets with crypto online? And I'm guessing, if they're going to be doing concessions, you got to prepay for your concessions and you get a little coupon or something. I don't
You
know.
get a little NFT.
Who the hell's going to use, honestly, who the hell is going to use crypto unless it's Dogecoin or one of the other, sub dollar or no more than
Shiba.
$5 cryptos? Yeah, nobody's going to use Bitcoin to buy tickets.
I'll
I don't think.
probably I'll probably use it the first time just to see it, just to have the little experience of, oh, I bought an AMC ticket with Bitcoin, you know? But after that, it's like, I don't know. I don't think so. That's gonna be enough for me. Moran says, I have a question. When it rips, does insider sell-offs affect the price? Because I think AMC crowd and holders are looking to sell. Insiders, I think all the insiders, like on the board already, the majority are gone, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. I think a lot of them have already kind of been selling.
Most of them, I mean, I think Adam Aaron's the only one that holds any stock of significance. He only reports to hold something like 750,000. Everybody else is 150,000 or under.
Hmm. Also,
Uh, and they are regularly, well, they were regularly selling. Um, when back when the proxy first came out, it was in the proxy that the requirement all of the board of directors and directors had, they had to hold X number, X times their salary in stocks.
mhm.
But back in 2020, that was eliminated. It was, the requirement was no longer there. They had to hold, X times their salary. And damn near every one of them sold as much as they could. None of
Wanda,
them, not a one of them, was within compliance with the stated articles of incorporation.
hmm,
So it's just like, wow, that means they've got no faith. They wanted to get the money when they could, and every time it ran up, they were selling.
hmm, because they know what
Um,
it's worth. They know what it's worth.
yeah, you watch the insiders. There hasn't been a single insider buy in 2 years, not one.
Wanda got out
And
too.
if that's the case, if they think it's worth more than $30, they'd be buying it up instead of selling into 12, 15, $20.
Moran's second part of the question says, blah, blah, blah. Does it affect the price? Because I think AMC crowd and holders are looking to sell. I mean, it only affects if they're directly going into the market, right? And they're not using like other avenues like dark pools. Or in this case, Mr. Adam Aaron's 1035B1 situation.
That's still going to sell into the market. That stuff is designed to sell into the market.
I thought he said he wasn't. Because on Trey's interview, he said he
He
wasn't.
won't be. Whoever he appoints and on schedules that he sets up, they will be.
I mean,
That,
doesn't it
that's why
depend on
that's why
the?
you've got all the. All right, you remember what's their name that used to be president of the New York Stock Exchange and was a senator or representative for Georgia. Anyway, uh, they they all set up theirs to be 10B 10B1s, something like that, 15B1s. Anyway, they all set up control through basically a trust. And the trustee is the one responsible for selling, making the financial decisions, the fiduciary. They no
Mm,
longer really have the say over when they buy or sell. They can sit there and tell their fiduciary, "Hey, I'm interested in this company." Uh, but as far as that goes, they are once removed from the financial decision. It gives them a little bit of plausible deniability.
doesn't it also depend on the size of how much he's selling? Because I know he didn't state that, and one of the requirements for the 1035B is to state the date, the price, and the share, the amount. I don't think he stated any of that, other than the date, which is his 67th birthday in like September, something like that. Well, what if it's just like a massive position and he doesn't want to go directly through the open market?
It won't go through. It will go through the open market.
So we're gonna see that pressure probably.
Yeah, but
We're
but
gonna see
again,
that order go through
he owns less than a million shares. He owns less than 1/500th
of the volume.
of the outstanding shares. Um, it, that's what 20% of 1%
Yeah,
or
because
less.
the outstanding shares is ridiculous. The last 2 years, this
It's
stock.
not going to. It's not going to affect the price more than a dollar or two. If he were to sell it all at one time, it's not going to affect the price a dollar or two.
Yeah, because the volume right now for AMC is 10.1 million.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll have a tough time.
no, but when you find out that none of the directors hold any shares, that means they've got zero faith in the company. They've got zero faith in it being a forward going concern. And that's what's going to trigger, you know, oh my God, you wouldn't even want to think what's going to happen to the price when it get if they were to do that when it got out. You wouldn't want to think about what the price is going to do because it's going to go well below even my estimate.
Hmm. Yeah, do you think this Adam Aaron retirement or him selling some shares is him trying to just leave the boat, or do you think he really is trying to diversify his assets? I think he's BSing us.
I think he's trying to remove himself from the picture. I think he's trying to give himself that little bit of plausible deniability so he can say, "Hey, I may have set up the schedule. I didn't know what the price was going to be at any particular time, and it gives him some plausible deniability."
Yeah,
Also,
he's a little B. He doesn't have the nuts to go on and sell. He has to have somebody else do it for him. That's just the
well,
way I see it.
I'm not gonna go that far. Uh, but as far as trusting him, I don't. I'm just saying he's giving himself an out so that he can go on. If big if here, guys, so don't get upset. If AMC does go belly up, if it does end up going bankrupt, he can go off and get another job as another CEO or another uh, you know chairman of the board
Mm.
because he's removed himself from the responsibility. He's got an excuse. He's got an out,
Do you
and
think?
that's what it's all about.
Because he'll have no hard time finding another position. But
Depends.
is he gonna find another position at another company? That's another concern. Like I've seen on Twitter is that Adam Aaron it hasn't sold a single share, but they compare it to Vlad Tenev that he sold some shares on IPO.
It doesn't. Okay,
That's a
Vlad could
stupid
sell
comparison.
every Class A share he's got, and
He's
it's not going to affect a damn thing. He can still override. Him and his partner can still override anything the shareholders is try and vote on because of the way they have the share structure set up. Their Class B and Class C shares hold many more votes than the single vote Class A
Class
shares.
A.
that that thing's set up more along the lines of a pharma than anything I've ever seen as far as a tech stock goes. It's messed up.
We also have to keep in mind that Adam Aaron, he didn't start AMC, like he's just the CEO.
No, he didn't. It's been around for 100 and some odd years.
Your mic kind of turned weird. Hello?
But yeah,
Oh,
I
there we
mean,
go.
oh yeah, sorry, I had a phone call coming in.
Oh, no problem.
Had to decline it. It boils down to it. You know, Adam Aaron walked into it, and I don't know whether he was put there, placed there by a hedge fund or Citadel or whatever. But I mean, everything he's done so far to date, as far as what might be healthy for the company, reminds me a whole lot, or what he should be doing for the healthy for the company, reminds me a lot of what Jim Bell was doing for GameStop, and basically making just really bad decisions.
That was the
Or
CFO?
that was the CFO for GameStop.
I remember when he got sacked. Poor guy.
That was the best thing ever.
They told him nicely to just, F off. It will go bankrupt in 3 years or watch the stock price stay at $7 once they ask for 500 million more. They probably will ask for a bunch of more shares in the coming year. I think they
They're
have
going to
enough
have to.
cash. I mean, they're burning what,
They're going to have to.
470 million a month?
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to ask for a very. I mean, like I said, back when we were first talking about that first proxy, I was like, if they'd ask for 100 million, okay, and yeah, we're going to probably have to sell it at the end of the year or in sometime in 2020, okay. I was all for that. I was not for the 500 million. That was an immediate double
Yeah,
of what they were already authorized. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, 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 because this is definitely going the way of a bio.
but a penny
Uh,
stock situation.
yeah. Uh, and I'm like, and then when they put out the 25 million, I'm like, guys, this is not a bad request. You need to do this. Everybody needs to vote for this. And everybody else is like, no, we don't, no, no. And I'm like, oh God, you're dooming the company to bankruptcy if you don't authorize this. And I mean, even if they come out next year for 100 million, they're gonna need it. They're
Hmm.
gonna need it because COVID keeps mutating. It keeps becoming new variants, and they're getting
Yeah,
worse. These variants are getting uh, harder and harder,
to combat.
deadlier and deadlier. And it's just like AMC's not going to survive if people aren't putting their butts in those seats.
Yeah, yesterday I read about this new variant called the Marburg virus. And the FDA approved the booster shot yesterday, I believe, I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, they're approving for the at risk, the
Hmm.
people that got shots the first go around, and it's not a bad idea because actually I think they've actually determined that the longer you go between your first two shots, the better protected you are because the body sits there and rebuilds the antiviruses or the antibodies to a bigger holding potential than it when you got the shot 2 weeks apart. Now when I got mine, they were spaced a month apart.
I believe it's a
Um,
month.
so it's just like they were sitting there going, yeah, it was better to wait for 3 weeks or than 2 weeks because it wasn't as effective. They found out that by delaying it actually got better and you got stronger resistance. So it was like, okay, works for me. I don't care.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, the people that got those shots first go around are probably in need of it, and it's just going to be a one shot booster,
Hmm.
and it will probably give them resistance, for several years as opposed to having to go back and get one every year.
Well,
I don't even mind going back and getting one every year. It doesn't bother me in the least.
I mean, I feel well. I feel normal. I got both of my shots,
Yeah,
Moderna. Mm, I don't feel
after
any.
having suffered through it and having suffered through it twice, it's just like, yeah, I don't want to go through it again.
Yeah, 'cause you got
I
hit,
will
right?
go get that booster shot, huh?
You got hit. You got the Rona.
Oh yeah, I got the first time. The first time I was praying for death. Second time it was just kind of like basically just the flu. I was over it within a week, but I still didn't go out because I might have still been a carrier, a spreader. So I just I was like, not going anywhere.
Wait, what does tax law say? LOL, honestly, I'm like, F the company. I don't care if it goes bankrupt at this point. I just want some closure. Give me my attendees. I
Well, if
mean,
it goes bankrupt, you're not getting your tendies.
it's going to
So,
1 penny if it goes bankrupt. Then Rich Greenfield's gonna laugh his ass off. That's what's gonna happen.
oh, because he's gonna make bank
Oh yeah.
because he's probably got 500 billion puts on the damn thing.
Y'all wearing masks? I still wear my mask.
Actually, MG, I do. I still
Yeah.
wear my mask
Here in
when I go
LA,
out.
I think they mandated even vaccinated people to wear masks indoors again. They removed it on July or June 15. Now it's back. Everybody wants closure. Like this has been going on since January. Like I did not think it would last this long. To be honest, this is insane. And the
No,
fact
it's
that
not.
to me it is. I've never seen a short squeeze like last this long, or the attention on a stock last this long, especially on AMC. Like it's not Tesla, you know. Well, you never know. Stocks a lot. Mask for life.
Pretty much. I mean, the way it seems until everybody's inoculated against this damn thing. Yeah, and I don't ever see 100% of the world's population being inoculated because anti-vaxxers, and even when it gets approval, some anti-vaxxers are going to be no, no, no. You're getting the little Bluetooth microchip. And
5G.
no, no. I'm just like so. Um, at some point, maybe there will be 100% through, sometime in the next 150, 200 years, maybe 100% of the population will be, immune to it. But I'm guessing probably for the rest of my life, yeah, probably.
I thought to get herd immunity, we had to get like 80% vaccination. And we're like at what, 50,
Yeah, but see,
51%?
the thing is, you still got that 20% out there that can be, can still get it. And then even though you're inoculated, you're exposed to them, you're still a spreader. You might be immune to it,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not wearing a mask, you're still a spreader.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still that issue. So that's why I wear my mask. I don't, it doesn't bother me. It's, if I go into a public store, mask. If I go into a public restaurant, mask. It's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal.
I don't
It
think,
really isn't
yeah, I
that
don't
big of a
think,
deal.
I think some people, I mean, respectfully, like everybody has their own opinion, but they make like, it's like some big deal, right? I think it's just like a mask, right? But I think people are like, oh, you're obeying the government, you listen to whatever they tell you, but like, I just see it as a mask, you know?
Yeah, well,
Like, I
I'm
don't
just
know,
no.
I don't put a lot of importance to it. Yeah, Marantz is here in Cali, right? So it's 11 p.m. 11, I'm sorry, 11 a.m. PST. So in like what, 3, 4 hours?
Me. I'm sitting here looking at it. I know I'm fairly confident. I won't say I know, but I'm fairly confident I will not get it again. But I also don't want to spread it. That's my reason for wearing the mask. I don't want to end up being exposed to it and then still being a spreader to somebody else that's not inoculated. That is my only concern. Mask or no, I don't care about somebody, some governor, president, CDC saying you got to wear a mask. I'm going to wear it just because I don't want to get somebody else sick. I've been through this. I know how much it sucks. Uh, and for all I know, they might be immunocompromised and they die. I don't, even though I might not know about it, I would not want that on my conscience.
And that too, I kind of feel bad sometimes, like for respect for other people, you know, like you see them wearing a mask and like you're not wearing one. They probably kind of think like, oh, screw this guy, you know. So sometimes, for the most part, too, it's out of respect. Like I'm vaccinated too, you know. I could be out there like, oh, I'm vaccinated. I'm not gonna wear my mask, but just out of respect, I still do it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. My camera angle, the way I have it, I have two screens right here, and I never streamed before. That's the thing. I never streamed. I never figured out how to connect my Canon camera. I'm using my freaking phone as my camera. 100% for your neighbors. I don't even know who my neighbors are. Fear and paranoia makes Corona worse.
I only know one of my neighbors, and he sometimes is irritating. So,
Is that Boker?
yeah. And who I'm going to go float the river with this weekend, right? Okay, yeah.
Boker. Rob likes wearing a mask because it gives him a perfect excuse not to talk to anybody.
Oh, I don't need that. I don't need a mask not to talk to anybody. I just ignore you and keep on walking.
Oh man. In New Orleans, you have to show your vaccine card to get in restaurants and bars only in New Orleans. Really? I heard it's like that out here in LA, but I haven't seen anything. They said they're gonna start, asking for vaccination cards, but I
Well,
haven't
that's up
seen
to the
it.
business. If you're not, they don't have. All right, just like no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Hmm.
Hey, with this thing, they can sit there and go. You got your card on you, or put a mask on.
Hmm.
They can start doing that. That is totally their call. It's for the health and safety of their other patrons and their employees.
Carry the V card probably.
I keep it in my wallet inside my passport. So yeah,
To be
two
honest,
things I'm never gonna two things I'm never gonna lose.
your V card?
Yeah,
I just have a picture of it. Honestly, I just have a picture of it, and that's it. And I have a selfie of me getting the vaccine because my professor gave extra credit. You know who my professor is, right?
yeah,
Your favorite professor?
yeah. You're all gonna die.
Yep. I miss that guy, to be honest. I miss that class too. I'm gonna sell my vaccine card.
Yeah, see, I carry the original that way, it because it Photoshop, yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go through that bullshit with somebody. No, look here.
Professor Kramer? No, not Kramer. Let's go to Kramer's Twitter, by the way. Let's see what he's been talking about. Get a little insight.
I had him off all. I had CNBC muted all morning. I just been listening
Talking
to
about Disney.
all the various YouTube first time listeners to Phil Collins in the air tonight,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean some of these millennials and other artists and rappers, and they just got blown away by music that's 40 freaking years old. Oh wow, CKR Construction. Enjoy.
Who is that? Is that?
That's Boker.
Oh, that's his second account, his alternate account.
It looks that way. I guess he's uploading his video. He's been trying to make. He was asking you how to make a video for advertising for his company.
Also, Boker's becoming a YouTuber, huh?
Well, no, he's using it as a marketing. So
Oh,
he's trying to put together a commercial basically, but time compressed on clearing
I'm
and
gonna set
you
some
know,
alerts because I think AMC's gonna come down. I mean, Fridays are notoriously known for being what? Red days, and today's Friday the 13th, so we might see a little bit of blood today. So, uh, 7:30, 1 hour in. I think we're gonna end it here, guys.
With
Uh,
that being said, get the hell away from the computer during the weekend. The stock market will still be here. Nothing's going to happen over the weekend. There might be some news, but you can read up on it on Monday morning,
mhm.
even Sunday evening. But get out and enjoy life. Take
Words of
care of yourself.
wisdom. Words of wisdom from Rob. Rob, they're selling Vax cards where I live. Really? I know here I've seen the fake cards too as well. Some guy posted a video and he has a stack, and I mean a stack of cards.
Well, all you need is the paper stock and an ink pen. Nothing. I mean, some of it can be anything can be falsified and faked.
Yeah, I mean he needs a little
But
sticker too.
I mean, maybe they do need to put a little, chip in the vaccination so that they can wand you to see if you've
Rob,
actually been
you're gonna piss
vaccinated.
everybody off.
Kind of like we chip our pets, which is always a good idea, folks. But yeah, hey, hey, it would, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I
Hmm.
want to live. I mean, I smoke and I drink and I smoke like a freight train and I drink, well, like a fish. So eventually I'm going to die, but I'm going to die happy and die doing what I want.
Hmm.
Um, I, I don't worry about that. It's minor stuff. It really is. It's silly worrying about that stuff.
When it comes, it comes.
Exactly. I've already died twice, and third time maybe I'll be lucky. Maybe it'll be the one that I'd stay dead. I don't know. But yeah, shit. I'll die when I die. It ain't been my time yet.
That's the way I see life too. Like if it's your time, it's your time.
Ain't nothing they can do for you. I mean, if it's your time, get your head cut off. Guess what? They ain't sewing it back on,
Hmm.
whether it be through an accident, car accident or what. They're not sewing it back on. It's over.
Hmm.
So I don't care.
What a way to end the video. What a way to end the live stream today. Alrighty, guys. We'll be back Monday. It's already gonna be mid-August. I can't believe that. We'll be back on Monday,
Yeah, and
and
it's coming up on quarterly for GME. Going to be some good numbers.
we'll definitely do. I'll probably look into more on that DD. I found that very intriguing, by the way. So, um, with that being said, hopefully you guys have an amazing rest of your morning, and I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you, Rob, for being on with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. See you guys Monday. Peace
Later,
out.
guys.